OpenAI's unprecedented dominance, a new era in Silicon Valley. In the ever-evolving landscape of Silicon Valley, where tech giants rise and fall with the tides of innovation, OpenAI has emerged as a colossus unlike any before it. While every tech cycle, be it the dot-com boom, the mobile revolution, or the cloud era, has produced its dominant players, OpenAI's ascent is rewriting the rules of the game. With a valuation reportedly soaring to $500 billion in under 3 years, secretive financials, and an insatiable appetite for investment and expansion, OpenAI is not just leading the generative AI revolution, it's reshaping the entire tech ecosystem. From massive infrastructure deals with industry titans like Nvidia, Broadcom, Oracle, and AMD, to viral consumer products like ChatGPT, which now boasts 800 million weekly users, OpenAI's influence is omnipresent. But what does this mean for the broader tech industry, startups, investors, and the global economy? Let's dive into the layers of this seismic shift. A beast of a different breed, OpenAI's unique position. Historically, Silicon Valley giants like Amazon, Google, Apple, and Facebook, now Meta, have defined their respective eras by creating platforms that both enabled and constrained smaller players. Startups often found themselves navigating crowded app stores, monopolistic ad ecosystems, or infrastructure dependencies, always at risk of being outmaneuvered by the big fish. OpenAI, however, operates on a different plane. As a privately held entity, it faces no immediate Wall Street scrutiny, allowing it to burn through cash at an unprecedented rate, while forging partnerships and rolling out products with dizzying speed. Its recent moves, from the Sora AI video app, which garnered 1 million downloads in under 5 days, to the general availability of Codex, a software engineering agent, demonstrate a strategy of vertical integration that spans data centers to consumer devices. This aggressive expansion is both awe-inspiring and unsettling. Unlike past tech leaders who often focused on one or two core areas, OpenAI is investing across the stack, from the picks and shovels of infrastructure to niche applications and even hardware development with design legend Jony Ive. This breadth raises a critical question for entrepreneurs and investors. Where is the white space? As one venture capitalist noted, the unpredictability of OpenAI's next move makes it harder than ever to carve out a sustainable niche. Historical context: comparing tech booms. To understand OpenAI's dominance, it's worth revisiting past tech cycles. The late 1990s saw Microsoft and Intel reign supreme in the PC era, often crushing competitors through sheer market control. The 2000s brought Google and Amazon, whose platforms became indispensable for startups while also competing directly with them. The mobile boom of the 2010s was defined by Apple and Google, whose app stores dictated the terms of innovation. In each case, the giants created ecosystems that were double-edged swords, offering scale but also dependency. OpenAI's era, however, feels different due to its speed and scope. As Ethan Kurzweil of chemistry venture firm pointed out, the pace of startup creation and disruption today is the fastest in nearly 2 decades of investing. AI startups are reaching historic valuations in record time, and OpenAI itself is moving even faster, launching services that directly challenge smaller players in coding tools, agent kits, and more. This gold rush mentality suggests that, while many companies may thrive, others will inevitably be trampled underfoot by OpenAI's relentless momentum. Global impacts: a data center build-out with geopolitical stakes. OpenAI's influence extends far beyond Silicon Valley, touching global infrastructure and policy. Its data center build-out plan, reportedly endorsed by the White House, signals a new frontier in tech geopolitics. Partnering with Nvidia, the world's most valuable chipmaker, alongside Broadcom, Oracle, and AMD, OpenAI is spearheading an infrastructure race that could redefine global tech dominance. Data centers are the backbone of AI, requiring immense capital, energy, and strategic positioning. This push aligns with national interests, as countries vie for AI supremacy amid concerns over data sovereignty and cybersecurity. For developing economies, OpenAI's infrastructure investments could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, partnerships with local governments or firms could accelerate digital transformation. On the other, reliance on a single opaque entity like OpenAI risks creating new forms of dependency. echoing historical patterns of tech colonialism. Meanwhile, competitors like Anthropic, valued at $183 billion after a $13 billion raise, and global players like Google and Meta are scrambling to keep pace, intensifying a race that could reshape international trade and innovation flows. Sector-specific effects, opportunities, and threats. OpenAI's dominance is a tidal wave across multiple sectors. In consumer tech, ChatGPT and Sora are redefining user engagement, challenging traditional search engines like Google and entertainment platforms. In software development, tools like Codex threaten established players in coding and design automation, even as they empower smaller developers. In hardware, the enigmatic collaboration with Jony Ive hints at AI-driven devices that could disrupt markets from wearables to smart homes. For startups, the landscape is both exhilarating and perilous. Venture investments in AI reached $83.9 billion in the first half of this year, driven by mega deals, according to the National Venture Capital Association and PitchBook. Yet, as one founder noted, virtually every company now competes with OpenAI in some capacity. Niche players like Quilter, which uses AI for printed circuit boards, or sector-specific startups in healthcare, Heidi Health, Duos, and legal tech, even up Spellbook, are finding traction by targeting regulated or specialized industries less likely to be swept up by OpenAI's general-purpose tools. Still, the lack of technical moats means that momentum, not innovation alone, often dictates success. Practical advice for investors and entrepreneurs. For investors, the AI boom presents a high-stakes gamble. The exuberance of capital raising, unrestrained by public market accountability, suggests a bubble risk, reminiscent of the dot-com era. Diversifying bets across niche AI applications in regulated sectors like finance and healthcare could mitigate exposure to OpenAI's competitive shadow. Early-stage investments in infrastructure-adjacent startups, think energy solutions for data centers, may also offer long-term upside. Entrepreneurs, meanwhile, must navigate a battlefield where OpenAI is both enabler and adversary. Leveraging OpenAI's tools to enhance products, much like Exalabs does with its AI search, can provide a competitive edge. However, building defensible niches through domain expertise or proprietary data will be critical to avoiding direct confrontation. Partnerships with other ecosystem players, rather than reliance on OpenAI alone, could also offer a buffer. Conclusion: investment and policy implications, near-term catalysts. OpenAI's dominance signals a transformative moment for tech, with profound implications for investment and policy. For investors, the near-term focus should be on balancing high-growth AI opportunities with risk management, as valuations soar and competition intensifies. Policymakers, meanwhile, must grapple with the concentration of power in private hands, ensuring that OpenAI's infrastructure build-out doesn't undermine national interests or exacerbate digital divides. Regulatory frameworks around data privacy, energy consumption, and AI ethics will be crucial to temper unchecked expansion. Looking ahead, several catalysts could shape the narrative. OpenAI's Dev Day announcements, including Sora 2's API availability and Codex's rollout, will likely accelerate adoption and competition in the coming months. The outcome of Jony Ive's hardware project, expected to push boundaries in user experience, could redefine consumer AI. Additionally, geopolitical tensions around data centers, potentially fueled by US-China rivalry, may introduce volatility. For now, OpenAI stands as a titan without peer, but history teaches us that no dominance is eternal. The question is not if, but when and how the next disruption will emerge. Until then, all eyes remain on this Silicon Valley behemoth as it charts the course of our AI-driven future.